Good morning, children. We are discussing the topic sexual reproduction in a flowering plant. Last video, I told you a flower, the reproductive part of an angiospermic plant, changes into fruit after two processes. Are you remembering? Pollination and fertilization. Last class we have learned pollination in detail. Now we are going to study about fertilization. You can see the longitudinal section of a hibiscus flower. This is the place of ovary and the long tube style and the tip stigma. You can see the stamens growing around it. So I have slitted this stylar tube and removed the style out. Now look at this. This is the female reproductive part. This as a whole called carpel or pistil. And what do you call the tip of the carpel? This is the stigma. And this long tubular portion, this is the style. This swollen part is called ovary. Ovary, style and stigma together make the female reproductive part carpel or pistil. We have done it already. Now look at the stamens. I have scattered the stamens over here. Stamens are the male reproductive parts. Even you can see here the stamens. This knob-like part is the anther of the stamen and the stalk-like part are the filaments. You can see on the knob-like part of the stamens, anther, we can collect the yellow powdery pollen. Look at the stigma of the pistil, the tip. On the stigma, I am going to drop the pollen grains. This is a hibiscus flower. This is another hibiscus flower. Hibiscus is a flowering plant which reproduces vegetatively from the stem cutting. But here, just for an example, I am showing. So the hibiscus pollen grains are fallen over the stigma here. Here I am acting as an agent of pollination. There is a juice present at the stigma. This juice is sensed by the pollen grain and it leads to the further growth. Now the pollination successfully done. After the pollination, through the style, the pollen grain grows downwards. Let me show it in the diagram. Here, this is the real stigma and style and the ovary. I am showing the diagrammatic representation. Here, I have shown the ovary of the pistil enlarged. So that way, this is the stigma and this is the style and this is the swollen ovary. This is a carpel. So stigma portion, I told you already, the pollen grain fallen on the stigma. So it means it is falling on this part. The pollen grain is settled over the stigma. Now what happens to the pollen grain? What is the next process after pollination? Fertilization we have already seen. So what is fertilization in a flowering plant? Let us see. The pollen grain after reaching the stigma grows downwards through the style in the form of a long tube called pollen tube. So that is the germinated pollen grain is known as pollen tube. You don't have to learn in detail about the germination of the pollen grain. Still, for your knowledge, I'll just say once. Actually, pollen has two walls, outer wall and inner wall. Just like any other cell, it has cytoplasm and nucleus also. Outer wall breaks and the inner wall grows down in the form of a tube. So the cytoplasm of course moves downwards, bringing this male nucleus. Okay, so this germinated pollen grain is known as pollen tube. You don't have to learn about the germination of the pollen grain in detail. So come back to this portion. the pollen grain grows downwards through the style in the form of a pollen tube, bringing the male nucleus, that is the pollen nucleus, downwards. So this movement is by sensing a chemical over the style. Pollen grain grows down towards the ovary. See, this is the ovary of the carpel. Pollen grain grows downwards. What is seen inside the ovary? Now look at the ovary. Are you remembering, children? This is the ovary, isn't it? So I am just taking it out. You cut open the ovary. See, you can see this all small seed-like parts. These are the ovules. Are you remembering? These are the ovules. Now look here. Inside the ovary, I have shown the ovule like this. I am going to show the ovule separately here. This is how you can show the ovule. So this is an ovule. This is the ovule, and these are the walls of the ovule. Okay, pollen grain grows down, and now look here, there is a gap. This gap is known as micropyle openings in the ovule. Now this pollen tube is entering this sac inside the ovule through this micropyle. Micropylar region, the pollen grain enters. You can see a structure here. This is known as embryo sac. Once again I repeat, this is the ovule. Ovule has the walls. Inside the ovule there is an embryo sac, multicellular embryo sac. Inside the ovary, ovule. Inside the ovule, embryo sac. So you can see the pollen tube grows down through the style and reaches the ovary, and it enters through the micropylar region, that is the opening in the ovule, and enters inside the ovule and reaches the embryo sac. Now let's see what are the structure inside the embryo sac. As I told you, embryo sac is a multicellular structure. I am showing the embryo sac. This is the place of the female gamete egg cell or the ovum. This is a female nucleus inside the egg cell. Actually, the egg cell is seen in between two synergids. You don't have to learn about these names, so I am not going in detail about that. Like that, here also 3 naked cells are there. These all things not in your syllabus. So let us concentrate on the egg cell now. I have told you already, the pollen grain germinated to form pollen tube, and the pollen tube is carrying the male nucleus. It grows downwards through the style, reaches the ovary, then reaches the ovule. Through the micropylar region, it enters the ovule and it reaches the embryo sac. And the male nucleus in the pollen tube enters the embryo sac and fuses with the egg cell. This is known as fertilization. That is, this is the pollen tube. Pollen tube is bringing the male nucleus and it enters the embryo sac, and this male nucleus of the pollen cell fertilizes the egg cell. This fusion of the male nucleus and the female nucleus inside the embryo sac, this is known as fertilization. After the fertilization, the egg cell is not called egg cell. The fertilized egg is known as zygote. the fertilized egg is now known as zygote. Once again, I repeat the points which we have discussed till now. This is the stigma, this is the style, and this is the ovary. Pollen grain fallen on the stigma. So it leads to pollination. So the pollen grain germinates down through the style in the form of a pollen tube. This is the pollen tube. The pollen tube grows downwards through the style, sensing a chemical. Now, what is the swollen part? Ovary. Inside the ovary, what is present? This is the ovule. Now, inside the ovule, embryo sac. Okay. Inside the ovary, ovule. Inside the ovule, embryo sac. Now, look here. The pollen tube is bringing the male nucleus downwards through the style, through the ovary. It reaches the ovule and it enters the ovule through the micropylar region. That is a gap, and from there it enters the embryo sac. What is in the embryo sac? The egg cell, the egg nucleus, and the male nucleus, which is brought by the pollen tube, both fused here. Now the egg cell, which has a fused nucleus of the egg cell and the male nucleus, is now known as zygote. This fusion of male and female nuclei is known as fertilization. The next topic, post-fertilization changes. Post means after. What are the changes occur in a flower after the fertilization? Fruits you might have seen, like in pomegranate, guava, such fruits, you can see these calyx or the sepals are still attached to the fruit or wither away. Then the colorful petals, whose work is over now, which make the corolla, also dries and fall off or remain as dry parts attached to the fruit. So that is why they were all called temporary parts. Now, what is the role of stigma, style? So they also dry and fall off. Now, what is leftover? Leftover part is the ovary. Ovary is seated over the thalamus, and this is the stalk of the flower or the pedicel. Now, the ovary swells and ovary changes into fruit. So this kind of a fruit is called true fruit. From ovary, the real fruit or the true fruit is formed. The ovary swells and become fruit. Now what happened to the ovules inside? Ovules change into seeds. So these are the post-fertilization changes. I repeat, sepals, which make calyx, dry and fall off. Petals also dry and fall off. Stigma, style, even stamens also wither away. And the ovary swells and become fruit. Ovules change into seeds. The walls of the ovules become the seed coat. So this is what, after the fertilization, the changes occur in a flower. This is how a flower changes into a fruit after pollination and fertilization. That's all about the sexual reproduction in a flowering plant.